Love the fact that we're in Europe. We're having a great fucking time. Any type of similarity just makes life so much fucking better.
Take a deep breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth.
What's your field too, Max?
All right, well, my name is Fern, and this is my salsa teacher. Introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Alex. I am the salsa instructor.
She's a salsa instructor, and I got into salsa classes sometime around, I want to say August. And the reason why I'm having her on in this video is because she has people come into the studio, and people that come to salsa classes usually come here because they're shy and they don't know how to dance. And she's able to take them out their comfort zone. And I think it shows a lot in her characteristics and her personality. So, when did you get into salsa dancing?
Well, thank you for that. I started dancing salsa about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to the Corona location, which used to be on Northern pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. And I also was not shy, but I wanted to get familiar with salsa. I mean, I did it growing up, but I wanted to get better to impress somebody. And
okay.
Trying to go past that part quick.
Yeah.
And I went to the salsa studio and I was like, oh my God, I love it.
Okay. And you're Dominican, or what are you?
I'm not. I'm actually black and white.
Okay. You're not Hispanic at all?
I'm not Hispanic at all.
Do you speak Spanish, no?
I do not.
Oh, you don't?
So you don't have to be Spanish or speak Spanish to dance salsa.
Okay. And so you got into 10 years ago. You started here in Lorenz or somewhere else?
No, I started in Lorenz in the Corona, because at that time we had another location in Corona.
Copy.
So I was dancing for Lorenz my whole salsa career, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And 3 years ago we opened this location, me and my business partners.
Okay. And what got you into it? You said it was someone, like you're trying to impress like an ex or a boyfriend?
Exactly. Yes,
okay.
I was trying to impress them because they dance. Mm-hmm. And so the owner of the Corona location was married to the youth leader of my church.
Okay.
And so she was like, come to the studio, he'll teach you. And so I joined. Mm-hmm. And when I got to class the first time, I'm like, this is not what we did last night. Like, it's totally different. But I don't know, it was just, we call it the salsa bug. I think I just caught it that day. Like, I learned it and I just fell in love, although it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Because we dance more structured here. We call it salsa on two. It's definitely different than the traditional salsa that you learn growing up.
And then, do you think it's important for both sexes, but like males or females, do you think it matters more to learn how to dance?
I don't think it's like one or the other. I think both parties need to learn. Mm-hmm. Because now I can do both roles. Mm-hmm. I can lead and follow. I don't think it's just for one. I think both should know how to dance.
Yeah.
I think as a female, you could learn to dance where someone's leading you, and then for a lead, if they're a good lead, they can dance with anybody. Even if someone doesn't know the style we dance, mm-hmm. They can still lead them through, not to extreme levels, but at least the basics. They can help lead them through if they're a good lead themselves.
Okay, and the salsa class I'm in is a year long, right?
Well, it takes you 1 year to get through the curriculum. Mm-hmm. So it's the green is beginner, intermediate, advanced. So it takes you about a year to get through this, just 1 to 100. Mm-hmm. And then the red is a secondary level, so to speak. So that would take you about another year.
Okay, copy. And have you seen people stay throughout the whole course?
Yeah, happens all the time.
And do you see, of course they learn, but do you see anything different in regards to how they hold themselves, or maybe their personalities, or maybe social life?
Definitely. People come, so you had mentioned, you came, or you and others can be shy. So not only shy people come, we get diverse groups, diverse backgrounds, personalities, mm-hmm. hobbies, like you name it, we have it here. Even backgrounds, like educational backgrounds, professional. So literally none of that matters. And I just lost my train of thought. Crap. Let's rewind a little bit. Repeat what you had said.
It was about in regards to, don't worry, I usually edit this.
I figured you would.
But it was in regards to people with different backgrounds and how
their confidence level. There we go. Okay, sorry. Take two. Yeah. So we get people of all different backgrounds, whether it's their educational background, their profession, their actual background, all of that. And I have seen people come that are like socially challenged, mm-hmm. Come out of their shell. It definitely boosts confidence. In the beginning, it can be challenging because some people have 2 left feet, or even worse, and I don't know what's a slogan that's worse than that, but some people just come with no rhythm and just are not coordinated.
Yeah.
But in time, you can see that they do get better in their coordination, and when they come to socials regularly, they become better leaders. And then once they lead someone through a dance, or even do our student dance team, their confidence just it blows like through the roof, and you can see when their confidence, we can kind of see where that shift happens, and you can even see them see it in the moves when they're dancing. We definitely as instructors see that shift when they're dancing.
And I've come to this class, and I feel like I am somewhat social. I mean, I have 3 cameras here now. But I've seen people come in here in the beginning and they were shy. But I do see what you're saying, because I would see how they get out of their comfort zone, and then like they're talking to other people. And I think it's super important, because at least for me growing up, I was super introverted, and over time I got extroverted, and I think it's either because of the military or college or just throughout life. But it's super nice to see people getting out of their shell, because I think it's important to have community, and this is a community in itself, the salsa community. Like, you come here on Fridays, and then like I have people hitting me up in our class, "Are you going?" And I was like, yeah, of course I'm going, you know. And it's super nice, because then, like, I think a lot of people they feel alone nowadays, or like maybe they're antisocial, or maybe I've met like 2 or 3 people that come to this class that just got a relationship as well. So it's nice to come here and meet people and just dance.
That's something we're big on. We really try to build a community. Like you said, it is a community in and of itself, but we try to make this a community that's based on like trust, comfort. We want to make it a positive environment, and we always, want people to feel that they're welcome here.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we have a new beginner class, we express like it doesn't matter what you're going through in life. This is like a way to escape that. So we say like when you're coming in, like leave that at the door. Whatever baggages you have, whatever trauma experiences, hard difficulties, leave it there. And when you come in, like come with a positive attitude, because when you come with that, with an expectation of positivity, you're gonna get that.
Yeah.
And we try to like cultivate that here. So I actually almost take pride in that, because me and my partners, we really push for a positive community to help each other. And we've seen people meet here and then they become like best friends. One I can think of specifically, they went on vacation together and they're like literally like best of friends, and it's nice to see that happen here.
I've actually I hung out with a few people here from the salsa class outside, and then I actually bumped into them in this cafe. I was with them yesterday actually. These 2 girls, I forgot their names, but it's cool because I bumped into them outside and I was like, oh my god, we do salsa together, and we were catching up, we were talking, and then they invited me to the church. I might go this Sunday if I can.
Very cool. I've done that too. I go to church, I go to V1, and I'm always inviting people like, come with me to church. And it's just like another layer. Obviously, I'm not going to do that with just anyone. It takes time, like having conversations with people to be at a level where you can invite them to church or personal things as well. But that's something that we really try to do here. Like, it's not just about dance. It's not just about you coming, paying tuition, and you leave. Like, we really want to build a community where we can reach out and check in. Even you got hurt, and one day I told you were on my mind. Like, let me check in on him, make sure he's okay. Other students, they might be here for a season, and something may happen, and it takes them away. And I still reach out because I don't want them to feel like they're just money to us, because that's not the community we want. We're in America. You can make money so many different ways, but we want people to know that we genuinely do care about them.
And I overlook the cost, because the cost to come here is super cheap.
We are the cheapest out of every studio I've ever been to. Any salsa studio, we are the cheapest, and we pride in that.
And it's like, it baffles me, because I'm like, you guys could charge way more. I would pay more, honestly. You guys told me, oh, it's like $200 a month. I'm like, okay, you can have the money, But the fact that it's like so cheap, and I think a lot of people can afford it, is very doable. Because every time I come to class, like, it's packed. And I remember I came on a Wednesday instead, and it was still packed. And I was like, wow, like, a lot of people come to salsa.
And that's one thing that I would say is probably like Howie Lorenz's legacy almost, because we want to keep people like off the streets. And when life happens, we don't want them to not be able to afford an outlet. So the fact that we are so cheap and offer student discounts, it's like, there's not many excuses left at that point. If it's as cheap as we are, and you're having a positive environment and off the streets and have our support, it's we want it to be a positive.
I forgot the other owner's name. The Spanish guy.
They're both actually Spanish, Ralph or Vic.
I don't know. He's short.
The short one is Ralph.
Okay.
Sorry, Ralph.
But I remember when I first met him, he got into salsa, and he said like it basically saved him because growing up you could have a bad influence on friends, and for me growing up, like I was a troublemaker, and I wish I had this or another outlet. Yeah. So I'm glad that you guys are doing this because it is super influential, and I've had friends pass away over the years just because like they're hanging out with the wrong kids, whether it's like suicide or opioids or like just drunk driving. And I feel like if they had necessary outlets like this, or even the gym, other things, like all these things do add up. So like just to have this community and to get involved, and it's like who dances and is sad, you know? Like I remember when I first started coming here, I was a wreck. I was so bad. Like I was really sad.
And we didn't even notice.
Yeah, I was just.
You wear a good mask.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to share. I didn't want to bring anyone down. I only told the one of the guys here. I forgot his name. Not the Navy guy. Someone else. He has a beard. He does bachata. He teaches bachata.
The teacher for bachata is a female, Gabby.
It's her man's.
Errol,
yeah.
Yes. He assists her.
Yeah. So I remember I only told him about it, and like he actually did reach out. Like we exchanged information, and I remember I used to vent, and he'd be there, and it felt nice because like, you know, I was able to talk to someone, and he was just someone I just met, and for me, I felt at the time a little bit insecure or unmasculine because I was talking about my feelings. But like,
it's important.
Yeah, and just for him to like speak to me and just be there for me, and then like just to see like a handsome man dancing, like I feel like it's very like, I won't say taboo or unspoken about, but like I remember when I started taking dancing classes, like my boys were like, yo, it's gay. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, it's fun, you know? And then like sometimes we'll take videos and like, yo, there's a lot of women there. And I was like, oh, well, you say it was gay, right?
Right.
But I don't come here for the women. I come here because I actually enjoy it. But I remember when I first started coming, I only needed to learn like a few dance moves for the first like 2 weeks. And I was cooking one day in my kitchen, super sad. I was like crying. I was like, let me throw some salsa on. So I threw some salsa on. I started shaking my ass a little bit. And I was like, yo, like, it just got me out of a little rut. And it's super important. And I remember I went out to some part of the city, I think Washington Heights, and they had a little salsa club. And I was like, oh, it was like, they're doing salsa, you know? And I just jumped in and started dancing. And then it's nice because then like whenever I go out, which is rare, but at least I know the basics. I'm able to like dance a little bit, and it's fun. And growing up, like I used to be a little bit overweight and just insecure. And I remember really just sitting down and like never dancing because like I don't know how to dance. But now like I'm like, okay, like, I had the confidence because of this community. It's helped out a lot.
Yeah, just a few things I actually want to mention on that. There was a movie. I just recently was watching it. I want to say Footloose, but I could be totally wrong. And in the movie, there was like an accident that happened due to drunk driving also. Whatever, the kids ended up dying, unfortunately. And then there was like a band of dance in the community. And one of the kids who had just moved there, he was like, I want to dance, and basically ended up like protesting against it. And while he's sharing it, he was like, dance is who we are, and it's like a way to express. And I say that to say like dance, it really is like what you said, like it got you out of the situation you're in, and it is a way to express. You know, people have been dancing for centuries. It's part of culture. You know, some of our moves come from like the Cuban Afro cultures as well. So like a lot of people ask like, why are some of the names like Slave Freeze, you know, Lazy Mambo, things like that. Like even to the time where people like were shackled, like people always wanted dance. And so it's just an important way to express and do things like that. And
besides dancing, do you have any other hobbies?
I used to play sports growing up. Now that I have my son, I don't really have as much time as I would like, so it's really only dance right now. A few months ago, I started to learn how to play the guitar.
Okay, nice.
And that's been cool. Haven't had much time to practice, which stinks. because I tell you guys to practice, otherwise what's the point? And I feel like I'm, being a hypocrite because I'm not practicing when I'm learning in guitar lessons. But I explain to the teacher, like, I just want to learn, but I'm not trying to be professional.
That's another thing too, like, I come here and I would dance with you guys, but then how do I practice on my own time if I don't have a partner?
By yourself. We call it shadow dancing. Literally everything you do it by yourself. Even like you'll see me sometimes in class. Like if I'm just in the middle and I'm not dancing with a partner as you guys are rotating, I'm doing the moves also. If I'm in practice, so I'm doing it. Ladies right turn, I'm lifting up my hand. Men's right turn, I'm doing all the moves.
Yeah.
You can literally do by yourself.
Okay.
Sometimes Ralph jokes like he'll take a broom and do things, Even when we're practicing body rolls, we say take the broom and like literally, do your body roll against the broomstick. So there's definitely ways that you can practice by yourself.
Okay.
100%. And actually, just one other thing I wanted to mention about your friends who think it's gay. I feel like it's very cliche to just be like, oh, that's gay.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, a lot of women love seeing a man who can dance, especially a guy who's loose and can move more. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
So for your friends, they need to, check themselves a little bit because they're truly missing out.
As over time, like, I grew up, I always like ask myself like, what makes like a man and what makes a woman? And like I feel like for a man, it's like, learning how to defend yourself, of course your finances, being strong, having a career, like protecting your woman, but also like now that I got into dancing, I'm like, dancing is another way of like being a man too. Like I think it's super important and it's super romantic too. Like sometimes I see you dance and I'm like, and you and your partner. And I'm like, wow, like.
And you can like feel like something, right? It's like, what am I feeling? Especially if like, I don't speak Spanish, right? And so sometimes I hear songs. My brother and sister, they joke on me like, oh, you think you're Spanish. And I don't know what the lyrics are. I don't know what they're saying. If I've heard the song many times, I might be able to like, I've taken Spanish so I understand like a little bit. But you can hear a song and like feel what the artist was trying to, portray. So sometimes it's like a really good song and a really good dance. You're like, oh my God, like, crap, like that felt great.
Have you ever gotten like any injuries by any chance?
Thank God I have not. Nothing major, at least. Sometimes my shoulder does hurt a bit, especially if I dance with certain people and they do something like the lead is not clear or a little too aggressive, it will end up hurting. I remember one time I like couldn't raise my hand all the way, but nothing major, thank God. Other people are like, really hurt. I have nothing, thank God.
I feel like as an instructor, like if you, God forbid, you got into an injury, like you broke your foot or you tweaked your knee, like and you couldn't dance for like a few months, I feel like
it would suck.
Yeah, it would suck, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And how old is your son?
He's 6.
Okay.
My big boy.
Does he dance yet or no?
Not as he should. He dances a little bit, more like for fun. Anything other than like salsa bachata, he'll be out there like crumping and stuff, doing his little spins. He really should dance salsa. I actually met his father dancing, so it's like literally in his blood. But I think kind of like how with you are, like when he gets older, he might try to do it because if he sees his dad dancing or me dancing, he's gonna be like, oh, I want to do that. And I think once he gets into like the dating stage, it'll be more of a motivation to start dancing.
Yeah, I think potentially the dating scene, because like I remember like I started working out just because like I was like I think 19. I was like, oh, like I like girls, I was like, oh, like I want to lose weight, So I think for the dancing thing, I could see that happening. And for lost my train of thought.
Ha! I'm not the only one.
So you've been teaching for 10 years.
I've been dancing for 10 years. I've been teaching for 3 since we opened here.
Okay. And then how many locations do you guys have?
We have 3 locations now. We have Glendale, which is like the flagship. And then we have Manhattan, which is like in Spanish Harlem, and then we're the 3rd location.
Okay. What do you mean by flagship?
They're the original Lorenz that opened 20 plus years ago.
Okay.
Howie Lorenz himself was the one who opened that location.
Oh, Lorenz was the actual person?
Oh yeah, Howie Lorenz, yes. Okay. Did you go to our Christmas party?
I went to the Friendsgiving.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna crop this part out then. Yeah. But yeah, Howie Lorenz is the owner, or the original owner, I should say, of the Glendale location. Okay.
Is he still alive or no?
He is. He passed it on to 2 other guys now, Guzman and Eli. So they're the new owners, but he does still teach a class like once a week.
Okay.
And he still comes to all of the events and is definitely super supportive.
And one thing I do like about the salsa class a lot is that you guys are very traditional, and you go, men, go ask a lady to dance, you know? And I think it's super important, especially nowadays, because I feel like men, at least in my generation, they're very shy. And when it comes to dating or even talking to girls, like they have dating apps or social media, and like they'll just slide into DMs like, hey, like, I think you're cute, you know? But like nowadays, I feel like men lack that confidence for like, oh, that girl's beautiful, and like, oh, I gotta talk to her, you know? And I think it's super important because it takes you out of your comfort zone. So like for me, I'm fine with that. So I'll go and ask a lady to dance. And I think it's super important because I have a few friends, like two of my friends, George and Juan. They're both super handsome guys. And I tell them, I remember one time we went out and I was like, oh, that girl's checking me out, go talk to her. And he's like, nah, bro, I can't do that. And I'm like, bro, you're so handsome, like you could talk to her. And it's unfortunate because I feel like a lot of men, they're just shy nowadays, and like, you just get so hooked on your phone, like that becomes your new social in regards to like meeting people outside. So that's what I really like about this, where it's like, oh, men, go ask someone to dance.
I feel like, you know, the whole social media has really just transformed not only guys but women as well. And I feel like with that, men are, like you said, they're not as manly and, you know, strong as we see in the movies, you know? And so, yeah, I think it's important. Sometimes, you know, you'll be surprised where guys, you know, even here, even though we're teaching dance etiquette, like ask women to dance, sometimes they are shy. So we do try to like assist with that to help them build their confidence also. But I remember like even myself, if I want to dance, it's like, do you want to dance with me? No? Okay, fine. You want to? Great. But not like being hung up on the little things. But yeah, it's really important that guys just, you know, be a man and just man up. Like, you want to dance? Would you like to dance? Like, if she says no, it's not the end of the world. She's not saying no, you know, to you. It just, maybe she's tired. Maybe her feet hurt. Maybe she came with someone else and they might be jealous if she dances with you. You know, so it's not like a no to them. And I think once they understand that, then it's not that big of a deal.
And if you feel like if they know that's like, if they know that like that rejection isn't personal and they learn rejection is okay, like that's super important. Which
is why we say that in the first class, like we go down the line, do you want to dance? So they can see like it's okay if they say no. You don't want to dance? Great, I'll move to the next one. And I try to, well, at least when I teach, I try to express that like dancing, for me, Fridays, 2 classes and then 3 hours of social. Saturdays, 2 teams, 3 classes. It's a long day. So by the end of the night, my feet are hurting. And sometimes people ask me and I'm like, I'm so sorry, my feet, they're hurting. And like, it's a real thing, you know, being tired, feet, whatever. And some couples are a little bit more
reserved,
protective.
I've seen a couple here.
You know, sometimes they don't want to share. So we try to also express to them, like, you want them to dance with others because that's how you both will get better. So just trying to communicate things with them is the only way to fix that.
I have 2 things to say about that. So the first one is, like, at least for me, like, I just started dating someone recently.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Did she come here?
No, I'm actually not dating anyone. Like, if I see someone I'm interested in, like, I'll talk to them.
Wait, I thought you said you were dating someone. Did I miss that?
As in, like, I just started dating recently.
Like going out again. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, going out again, yeah.
I thought you were dating someone. I understand now.
But I recently started dating again. But at least for me, like, I kind of got over the fear of rejection. So, like, usually when I go out now, like, I kind of get more dressed up and take care of myself. And if I see attractive women, like, I'll always go and talk to her, like, hey, like, I saw you over there and I thought you were beautiful. My name is Fernando. Like, can I take you out for coffee? And they either say yes or no, right? And if they say yes, okay, we exchange informations, and then maybe they don't text back, or maybe we do, and we hang out. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because I think it's super important to be able to go talk to a woman like that. And it's just very unfortunate because I have some friends that don't do that, and I think it's like, it's more romantic too when you go talk to a woman. And sometimes I'll mix something up. I'll have my ring, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, like, oh, I got my ring. Oh, I love your Crocs, you know? And like, I feel like that's super important. And the dancing, I think, helps out with some men when it comes to for building that confidence.
I agree.
And then in regards to the asking a lady to dance, I've seen it, because I didn't believe you guys when you said, oh, social gets packed. And then I came to social and I was like, holy fuck, like, it's fucking hot. Like,
and I'm here right now shivering, and in like a few hours we're gonna be sweating.
And then I see where people would be dancing nonstop, and then if someone rejects you, it's because like she was just dancing 5 songs in a row, and the last guy was just twirling her around.
Now she's dizzy, like motion sickness.
But I think it's super important to, like you said, to dance with other people, because you get to learn how other people dance, because not everyone dances the same. And I think it's a little harder for men to dance though, because they have to lead, and if they don't know how to dance, like, I feel like it's a little bit more pressure, or it's a little bit more difficult.
I agree. 100%. Actually, because when I became an instructor, leading the class, you have to know both roles. So I also had to learn and train, and I'm still learning, I'm not perfect, how to be a leader. And I said that, like, dancing as a follow, which is normally like the women role, is so much easier because you're just following along, literally the name or the title. Whereas when you're leading, like, not only do you have to lead her through, also you have to think about what you want to do. And people who don't go to social are so used to me or the instructor calling out on the microphone, what's next? And so they're like, if you don't tell them what's next, it's like, oh my God. As opposed to them training themselves on what moves to do, creating a pattern in their own head, and then implementing it at social. So it is so challenging. Even me sometimes, like, I'm dancing, and after 4 bases, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I have to think about what I'm trying to do, because I'm still getting to a place of like fluency with my patterns. So sometimes, like, I have to pause in my brain, but I'm like still doing a basic to think about what's the move. So yeah, it definitely is a lot more. It's just more work on the lead for sure. Yeah,
I noticed when I went to social for the first time, for some reason, I thought you'd be like in my ear right here, like little chip saying, okay, 1, 2,
sorry,
a Cuban, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I have to do everything by myself.
100%, and that's part of the reason why. Well, also part of that is, what I express to my students also. Because I've had in the past where like people don't want to rotate, they want to stay as a couple, and it's like you're doing a disservice to each other, because one, the woman's only gonna get used to dancing with the man, with her partner, and if he's not leading it right, she's gonna get used to feeling it incorrectly. And then if she doesn't know how to correct him, or if she doesn't know anything's wrong with how he's leading her, he's also becoming a bad lead. So now in the future, if they ever dance with someone else, it's not going to be a good dance, because he's not leading it right. He was never shown, and she hasn't had a good lead, so she's going to be like, oh, that feels different, because she was always used to dancing with someone who was leading incorrectly. So sometimes, it takes a few times for people to understand that, and then they're like, okay, we'll rotate in a few weeks, or the next week. And then once they rotate, they're like, oh my God, it makes so much sense. Like, the lead also gets to feel what it's like to dance with other people, because, we're different heights, sizes, things like that. And that all plays a role. People's strength plays in a role in how you're leading them. So it's so important to get the rotation in. And do you do anything else besides just teaching salsa? Do you work somewhere else? I do. I work for the Parks Department, and I also have some family business as well. Okay, nice. And out of everything you do, which one do you prefer doing? Definitely my own businesses, because one, I feel like I'm making a difference, but my family also benefits from it. Where, I work for the Parks Department, and, although I'm blessed with that role, I'm making a difference, but like that's it. Here, it's like when I care for others, it's reciprocated, or we just unify our environment more because people care. And same with my family business, the more we care about people and help people, the bigger the team, the bigger the unity as well. So definitely anything that pertains to business where a family legacy will continue, as opposed to, doing things that we're not benefiting as much. Okay, and if you don't mind me asking, what is the family business? There's actually a few. So my mom does a lot of networking, and my father owns an entertainment company. So they do DJ, photography, videography. Okay. All of that, it's like a whole bunch of different things that we do. I think it goes hand in hand with salsa too, no? Literally. Nice. And then, how important do you think it is to do something you actually care about? Because it sounds like you love all of them. It sounds like it's not a dreading. It's definitely important. I actually just came from a training for my job that was talking about like how to work with like diverse groups, to kind of, it was like how to work with different personalities to help advance the team. And some of the things we're talking about is like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and it's like if certain needs aren't met, then you're not even able to proceed to the next level. And so sometimes you go to work just because you need a paycheck, and you're miserable. So it's like you definitely need to do something that's going to help motivate you to continue. And along those same lines, we're learning about like intrinsic and extrinsic motivations. Sometimes like if it's about money and you're making overtime, it's a quick response, but that's short term. So you definitely need something that's going to help motivate you and drive you to continue doing what you're doing. and you know that doesn't always happen in a job.
Yeah.
So that's why like going into business for yourself is definitely the way to go, you know, no matter what it is, because you're going to, the effort you put in, you're going to reap the benefit. Whereas, you know, working for someone else, it doesn't always pan out that way.
Yeah. And how does it feel going from a salsa student to a salsa instructor?
It's actually a really nice feeling. I feel like it gives motivation, it gives hope to others. You know, some students come and they tell me like, oh, I can't dance, you know, how can I do what you do? And it's like, I was in your shoes. So it makes that, like, it's like relatable. Like I started where you are. Now, you know, if you want, in a few years, you can be where I am. You can be an instructor, a director, an owner if you chose that. You know, if you truly care and want to be here, you can do that. Sometimes I show them videos, they're like, oh my God, you're so good. And I'm like, you want to see my first video? Because I wasn't. I look crazier than you feel like you look right now. So it's definitely a way to give them some hope.
I've seen a few of the students already start dancing from the team now. I saw on Instagram, I saw like one girl from the bachata and some other girl in salsa. I was like, wow, like I started with them, but like they're actually really into it.
And just to know that you started with them, so it like gives you hope, no? Like, you know, in a few months you could be where they are.
I'll go to try. I just need some more rhythm.
You'll get there, you'll get there. The more you come, the more continuous it is, and you know, make it part of your routine, class, social, things like that, practicing what you learn, you'll definitely be there.
Do you have any words for anyone that wants to get into salsa?
Just come, just do it. You know, just make up your mind to come, and once you get through the doors, it'll sell itself to you. Literally, you'll catch the bug.
Okay.
It's contagious. Do you agree?
It is a bug, yeah, I do agree. All right, well, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.